Mike didn't get the job done today.
Inside, and a beauty! Hall running free! Brees Hall inside the 10! He's gonna score!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and today we're going to be going over the game that we all just witnessed, the Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Jets. The Minnesota Vikings walk away with a win, 27-22, and Mike didn't get the job done. Now, before you guys all start yelling at me, I'm not talking about Mike White. I am talking about Mike LaFleur. I think he is a big reason we did not win today's game. I love Mike LaFleur and his play calling, and I think that we have a legitimate offensive coordinator in New York, but to have Mike White throw 57 times when he very clearly wasn't completing his passes at a high enough rate, and Bam Knight with 15 carries had 90 yards, and the run game was chugging to only rush 24 times, absolutely abysmal from the offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur here. Mike White also did not have himself a good game. It's one of those games where on the stat sheet, it's going to look good, 369 yards, 6.5 average, but really it wasn't a good game from Mike White. 2 interceptions, one of them probably not his fault, and then the last one in the end was obviously just him trying to win the game, trying to do something, but a lot of missed open receivers, very clearly in that middle part of the game, playing scared and taking checkdowns instead of taking open wide receivers, missing on some open wide receivers, suspect ball placement all day today, throwing behind receivers, and things like that, and just, in my opinion, taking unnecessary risks when he didn't have to, trying to fit balls into windows when there were other receivers open. Now, Mike White had some great throws, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Mike White is the reason we lost this game. It's not. He did his job. 31 completions, 369 yards, but when you partner Mike White not having the best game, I think it's a 55% completion percentage, with the fact that Mike LaFleur wasn't calling a great game, and the fact that we were 0 for 5 in the red zone when it comes to touchdowns, the Jets almost seemed like they didn't want to win this game. And when you look at down the stretch, how every single one of these games matters so much. They have such a massive playoff implication. Losing games that I think we were the better team out there. And losing games like this, like when you waste a performance by an undrafted free agent rookie, 15 carries for 90 yards, and you don't get a win. A rookie wide receiver, 8 receptions for 162 yards. And you lose. Corey Davis, 5 of 85, who had himself a horrible game. I was ready to bench him for the rest of the year. When you have these incredible performances from our young guys, and just at the top of the team, we can't get it done. It's heartbreaking. It's disappointing. It's deflating. It just sucks because Zonovan Knight had himself a game and deserves to win this game. Garrett Wilson had himself a game and deserves to win this game. It's just like, what are we supposed to do here? We threw the ball way too much. 58 throws, just unacceptable. We didn't run enough. The balance on the offense wasn't there. And then the defense gave up, or not gave up, but played incredibly well, in my opinion, outside of one drive in the third quarter. I think the defense did an exceptional job. What did I say leading up to the game? If you can hold Justin Jefferson to under 50 yards and scoreless, you can win the game. Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions, 45 yards. Boom, tick 1. But how is it that as a defensive coordinator, I know we don't match, but you're in the red zone up against the best wide receiver in football, and you don't match him with Sauce Gardner, the best corner in football. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not blaming DJ Reed. He had an exceptional day against Justin Jefferson. Not a single pass catcher over 50 yards, only 159 total passing yards from Kirk Cousins today, and just in general, 173 receiving yards today from Minnesota, who has a really good receiving attack. Absolutely phenomenal. Didn't do great in the run game. Dalvin Cook, 20 carries for 86 yards, a total of 128 yards given up in the rushing game, and 2 touchdowns, which was a big problem, obviously. But the defense, I think, did its job. They put the New York Jets offense in a position to win and to do it successfully. But the places where we struggled was in affecting Kirk Cousins. We got a lot of pressures, We got 9 QB hits, but only 2 sacks, and I think that's a real problem there when it comes to we were getting in his face, but we weren't converting those pressures into sacks, which I would have liked to see a little bit more, but everybody was flying around. We had a great day in pass deflections. Jordan Whitehead with a pass deflection, DJ Reed, Quinnen Williams, Michael Carter II, Sauce. We had 5 PBUs today. And again, the defense stood on their heads, and did everything in their power to win against an insanely high-flying offense. And to have 4 plays to get 1 yard and you can't do it. Abysmal. Absolutely just unacceptable from the New York Jets. And then the defense goes out, 3 and outs, and then you just can't, this is one of the things that I need to see better, not only just from Mike LaFleur, but I have to see better from Mike White moving forward for me to feel comfortable with him as our quarterback moving forward. Because today was a really good game, and it really lifted up my spirits when I looked at Mike White and the possibility of him being, a New York Jets quarterback that can actually win us games and win a game in the playoffs and do those things, because I felt like he was decisive. But 0-5 in the red zone when it comes to touchdowns is just how you lose football games. Greg Zuerlein, insane day. 5 of 5 for field goals. Got his extra point. He was all of our points today, just all of them, right? Because I don't think we scored a touchdown, did we? Mike White scored a touchdown. So all but 6 points were, Greg Zuerlein today, and that's just unacceptable. You don't win games by marching down the field and getting a field goal. You win games by marching down the field and getting touchdowns, and that's just the reality of it. Our defense did a good enough job to win this game. Our offensive playmakers did a good enough job to win this game, and we were let down by Mike White and Mike LaFleur in the red zone. 55% completion percentage is not good enough. The thing that I was talking about in the live stream was if Mike White in 3 games has had over 300 yards, but I don't care about 300 yards. I care about completions. 55% completion percentage is not good enough, especially against a defense in Minnesota that has historically struggled with the pass this year. Just unacceptable. But regain, turn it around. This is a close game against a playoff team, against a good opponent in Minnesota. Turn it around. We look forward to Buffalo, and we got to fix the problems that we were having. Fix the red zone issue. If I'm Robert Saleh, I'm not waiting until Friday to run 2-minute drill and red zone stuff. I'm going first and second down, and then I'm adding an extra bit at the end of practice. We're running red zone plays on Wednesday. Tuesday, we're doing third downs, and then we're running some red zone stuff. Friday, you run your 2-minute drill, your red zones, and your special team stuff, and we run red zone again, because you can't go 0 for 5 in the red zone and expect to win games. That's where you close out games. That's what differentiates here's a good team that went 8, or not 8-8. That's not a score anymore. That went 9-8 and didn't make the playoffs versus here's a team that went 10-7, 11-6, made the playoffs and actually had a run. It's these kinds of little things. Performance in the red zone. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below about this game. I'm honestly heartbroken because we had this game in the bag. We should have won. I think we were the better team up and down. We had the better rushers, the better receivers, the better quarterback, everything, the better defense. We were the better team. but we shot ourselves in the foot and lost this game. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And last but not least, go Jets.